Hi everybody, welcome to Chalk For You Things, Create For You Things. I am going to do a cute gingerbread kit today, and this is your chance to get this kit on sale. It's really at a good price right now. If you're interested in this kit, go ahead and type in the word gingerbread in the comments and then check your messenger. So this kit is all inclusive. First of all, it comes with your paste packets. So let's open these up and see what colors it includes. If you see the live button up in the top right corner, in the top right corner, top left corner, it means that you're watching me live. Welcome. Please let me know where you're watching from. I'm from Arizona, and our weather is just starting to turn beautiful here. I hope your weather is doing well too. If you're watching the replay, that means you don't see the red button up at the top. Please comment #replay just so I know that you watched. Now these are the colors that it comes with. These are our individual paste packets. You get 4 different colors. You get shimmer olive, camel, which is what we're going to use for our gingerbread. You get shimmer melon, and the shimmers are gorgeous, guys. They've got a little bit of shine to them. They're wonderful. And then you're going to get a paste packet of cherry. They also give you a couple color trays, so 1 color tray for each color, so you get 4 color trays, and that's just so that you can put your paste in there and use them easier. You also get a mini squeegee. Now since we're using 4 colors, you could just wipe your squeegee off in between each color as you transfer and use the same squeegee. They are silicone. This is a key to all of your chalking. All of your chalking crafts is this silicone squeegee. It cleans up easily. It's got a beveled edge, and so you're just going to scoop the paste on this edge and use the rest straight edge to spread the paste around. So what I'm going to do with our paste packets is I'm going to go ahead and make sure that they're very pliable. And then I'm going to get a pair of scissors, and I'm going to cut off a little corner on the bottom. Now the reason I'm cutting it off from the bottom is because if I have anything left in here, I'm not going to squeeze out the whole pack. I'm going to do a little at a time because once it's out, you can't put it back in, but you may have enough, more than enough to finish this project and do some others. So if that's the case, I'm going to roll it up on the cut edge, seal it with some tape, and then I can still see the color when I flip it over. So that's the purpose of cutting off the bottom. So I'm just going to cut off a little bit, a corner, and I am going to squeeze some into my color tray and set the rest aside. Same thing with my shimmer olive. Make sure you massage it a little bit. Make sure it's moving for you. If it's not moving, you can still squeeze some out and add some distilled water to it. Mix it up really well, and that'll come back to the proper consistency. And I can tell that these are all the proper consistency. They're moving really well in the packages. So I'm not going to need to add any water to these unless I chose to watercolor with them. You can paint with these. You can use them as paint. Just water them down a little bit, spray some water in there, mix it up, and then you can use a paintbrush to paint with them. Sometimes we use a sponge to watercolor, but today we're just going to be using our squeegee, and we're not going to dilute this paste at all. So here are our 4 colors. Aren't they pretty? And here's our camel and our cherry. Notice I just put a little bit out on each one. I'm sure I'll have to refill it. Now in this kit, okay, we're going to get rid of the cardboard backer, and I always save my cardboard. I know there's a purpose for them somewhere. Here is our big transfer. Isn't that adorable, guys? I have my ring light on, and I think it's just kind of giving me a reflection. So here it is. Now the way to open up these sleeves is one end of it has a adhesive strip on the bottom that opens. So you just want to pull it up. It's usually the bottom. And then I tuck this in because it is sticky on that end, and I know it'll help me when I put it back in. So I take this off. Keep this wrapper because you're going to store your transfer after you've cleaned it in there. So here is our transfer. These are reusable, guys. Reusable between 8 and 12 times. So make sure you clean it well and put it away. and you can reuse it over and over again. Imagine how many signs you can make out of one transfer. Now this is our actual surface. It's a 3-piece surface, and all this is included in this kit, and it's really a great, great deal on this kit. So I'm just going to go ahead and take off the plastic. Here's going to be my little sign, and these are reusable chalk chips. So you can, if you make a mistake or you want to change the color on this, you can. After you use it, just go ahead and wipe it off with some water and a scraper. So that's going to be what we're going to chalk that part on. Okay. We also have our little gingerbread piece, same thing. And these are two-sided. So if you had a need to do two sides, you could. And this is our surface that this whole transfer is going to go on. Like I said, they're two-sided, they're reusable. It's really a cool, cool kit. Okay, so when you are chalking, you always want to make sure that your surfaces are smooth, and these come perfect. You don't have to do anything to them. They just come in. They come perfect, perfect, perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fuzz my transfer is my first step. I'm going to take my transfer from my backer, peel it away, and you can do this a couple ways. Okay, notice that my transfer looks the same on both sides. They've recently redone it so that the one side is going to be yellow and one side is going to be white. But I'm going to go ahead and put a big X on the back of this before I even get started, because you want to make sure when you put this away, you add it back to the side that doesn't have the X. So what I'm going to do is peel this off halfway, and I'm going to do something called fuzzing. Fuzzing is just a way to reduce the stickiness of your transfer so that it doesn't harm your surface down below when you pull it off, and it won't on this, but it does stick pretty hard. And if it sticks too hard, it will stretch your transfer, or it could stretch your transfer. So I'm just going to apply this cloth to it a couple times. I usually only do it 2 or 3 times depending on the stickiness. And then I'm going to go ahead and put it down, and whoops, and if they get stuck like this, just gently pull them apart. They are sticky, and that helps with placement. I'm going to take off the other side and just go ahead and fuzz that side. So lay down your fuzz towel, and this could be your jeans, your shirt, a towel, anything that you have. Just something that might have a little bit of lint to lessen that sticky. So I'm going to put my transfer backer aside. Don't throw it away, you need it. And notice how these are see-through. The areas that you can see through are silk screen. That's where your paste is going to go through the transfer and onto your surface below. So step number 2, and this is still a little sticky, is to position this on your surface just perfectly. So that it fits. Now what I'm doing right now is trying to line up that white line at the bottom. And I'm not sure if that's going to be exactly where I want it. Let me see. Yeah, okay. So I lined up this white line at the bottom. You see, like it's like a little border right here. I lined it up at the bottom. It does look a little bit crooked right there. So that when I chalk it, it's going to leave a little bit of a border. I'm going to be able to tell that that's a border there. Okay, that looks pretty good. So now I'm just going to kind of rub and smooth it down and see how it lines up. Looks good, except my border's off on this side. So I'm going to have to move it over. Sometimes you may have to work with this a little bit. make sure you have a border on both sides that is equidistant from the top and the bottom, and the left and the right sides. It's a good thing these are repositional, guys. So basically, I'm just trying to center this. Okay. Okay, let's try this one. You want to make sure you put this down without any air bubbles. You don't want the air bubbles because that will cause bleeding. So work them out as you go, as best you can. Okay, it still needs to come over a little bit this way. A little bit this way, come on. Okay, so top, bottom, left, right. And then of course you want to make sure it's on straight. See how we're doing. Okay. So a little bit more this way. It's not usually this hard, guys. I'm just trying to make it perfect. Okay, this looks great. Okay, let's do it. Maybe if we do it left to right. Laying it down, making sure there's no air bubbles. This looks pretty darn good. Still could go over a little bit to the left. Hold on. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. Okay, so this right there, it's going to go down. It's going to go right there. That looks good. Up. Sorry it's taking so long, guys. I'm just trying to get this straight because it will bother me in the long run if it's not. And I want to keep this forever. Even though you could rechalk it if you wanted to. All right, all right. I did it, guys. Perfect, perfection. So left and right, top and bottom. I'm gonna press it down. Make sure there's not any air bubbles where there's any silk screens that I'm gonna do. Okay, and I think what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna go ahead and chalk my little, oh no, I'm not. I'm gonna chalk this whole background. So let's go ahead and do our border red. We're gonna do our ginger guy. What color is this? Camel. So let's do our ginger guy first. Ginger guy. Do we want to do him with a, no, I was thinking of a different scarf. Maybe we could do a different color scarf. So I'm going to do just his head. And all you're doing is taking some of the paste and smoothing it on. to the area that you want to cover. Now, any place that's white is where your paste is going to go through. So if it's not white, it's going to be white from the background. I'm going to go ahead and just cover everything except for his scarf. And you know what, guys, this probably doesn't really matter because I'm going to put the chockable chip on top. But let's just go ahead and do it anyway. I don't even have to do this part at all, but let's do it. It'll give me an idea of how it's going to look on the chip too. Okay. And it doesn't take a whole lot. If you have any extra somewhere in an area, you can go ahead and move that to the part that doesn't have any. And that's how you get all your coverage. And you don't need a lot, guys. You really don't need a lot of paste. And that's why these little paste packets are enough for more than one application or project most of the time. Okay. So the white area where the silkscreen is white is where you're adding your color. Okay, just got to finish up his little leg and his foot. And I'm just going to go ahead and take off any excess paste I have, move it around, but I'm also going to scrape it off. And then we're going to do what's called a paste and peel. And that just means that you want to peel this off. You want to lift your transfer before the paste dries in the screen. And as you go, you're going to kind of inspect it to make sure you have good coverage. Now, I know that I'm going to cover up this gingerbread, but there was a spot that was missing. I'm just going to peel it up and I'm going to look at it. And it looks really good so far. And then I'm going to dry this. I'm just going to hit it with my quick dry tool so that when I lay this back down, it's not going to disturb what I've already pasted down. So, how's the weather where you guys are? Are you experiencing fall yet? I just can't wait for fall. It's been so hot here, and we're getting a little bit of wind too, which I don't like the wind. So the wind brings dust and dirt and allergies, all that kind of stuff. So this chalk paste does dry really quick. So if you're experiencing fall, please type in the word fall. Let me know that your temperatures are changing. You feel it in the air. The leaves are starting to fall from the trees. If you're experiencing hot weather still, type in summer. Let me know. Let me know what you're experiencing. I do have one spot right here on the nose that's drying quickly, or not drying so quickly. I'm going to go ahead and push this down again. Now what I'm going to do is normally you don't want to push it down where you've already pasted, but I do want to do his scarf. So I'm going to do the scarf in, let's do it in red. So I'm just going to add a little bit of red. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and add it right in here. This is just kind of like practice for my chalk piece. Okay, so let's pull that up and see what that looks like. Cute. And I did kind of make a mess right there. I went over the lines, but it's cute. And like I said, this is a reusable surface. So if you don't like what you've done, you can wipe it off. All you have to do is wet it down, let it sit for a minute, and then you can wipe it off. Scrape it with your your paste scraper, and then wet your sponge and wipe it off. Okay, so now we've got that done, and that's really just, it's going to be covered up. I'm going to go ahead and replace my transfer down, get it back exactly where I want it to go, and smooth it. Make sure there's no air bubbles and everything looks good. Okay, and the border, I think we're gonna do red. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the border all around. So the little candy cane striped lines and the solid border, I'm gonna do like that. So, oops, got some on my fingers. So we're just kind of going around the outside edge, just pasting what we want. Applying the paste, smoothing it out. Now we're not going to be covering up this border, so we want to make sure we get every little white area covered with the paste. This goes pretty quickly. I'm just going to go ahead and smooth this out. Take my excess paste, move it down in other areas. We have this is the candy apple paste. We also have a red from this year. It's called cherry. So it's a different tone of red. Really pretty for Christmas. So if you want cherry instead, you can order a pack of the cherry. We do have a special on bundling these packets now. So I believe there's a special when you buy them in a packet of 5 different colors. So it's a good way to get your paste if you don't need the big jars. Also, guys, you know, we just got in today. It just dropped this morning at 9 o'clock. They're offering a beautiful nativity set. It is the chunky wood pieces, chockable shapes that have all the pieces of the nativity in there. It also includes the stable, and it's all done in gold paste, and it's beautiful, guys. It's beautiful. So I don't know how many they've ordered and what supply looks like. It just came in today, just released. So, you know, they should have enough supply to go around for a while. But take a look at that, guys, and see if it's something you're interested in. It's really pretty. I don't think they've ever done anything like this before. I haven't seen it. So it's pretty. Take a look. Just dropped this morning. Just dropped this morning. Okay. Now, if you do have excess paste and you have no place to move it to, just take it off your board and put it back in your little color tray and use it later. Now I'm going to lift this up and look at it. Looks really good so far. Looks good. I'm going to dry it as I go, just so I can put this back down. Are you guys decorating for fall right now or Halloween? I'm kind of in the midst of all three. I've got fall around my house. I've got Halloween around my house. Starting to get more Christmas. It's kind of one of those seasons, you know, as a creator, you want to get creating earlier so that you have your stuff done, but your house is kind of like in the middle of a bunch of seasons. So I'm just wondering if anybody else's house looks like that. If your house looks like fall, type in the word fall. If your house looks like Halloween, type in Halloween. If your house looks like Christmas, type in Christmas. And if you have a little bit of everything, type mixed. M-I-X-D-D. I'd like to see what you guys are decorating for. Notice when I'm lifting this and drying it, I'm not lifting up the center of this because I want those pieces that I haven't chalked yet to stay down, because I did work on positioning pretty hard on this one, and I want them to stay in place. Okay, so now I've got that done, and I'm just going to press down on the areas that I have not chalked. And what should we do? With Made with Love, let's do it in green. So I'm going to get I have the luxury of having extra squeegees somewhere. So I'm going to use a different squeegee. I'm going to do this in green. This is a pretty color, guys. Just going to chalk over this. Made with love. Move that paste around. And I'm not sure if this was the proper color choice for this. I probably could have used, I probably should have used the peachy color, because I'm going to be using my green for a lot of the floral elements. Actually, I'm going to use it on most of this greenery here. There are little berries in this, little berries, and I'm going to do those red. So I'm just going to try and paste everything on the floral accents, except for the berries in this green. If your squeegee, this is a small squeegee, and this one was a mini squeegee. So it comes with a mini squeegee, and the mini squeegee is perfect for so many things. It's what I use for most of my chalking. But if your mini squeegee is even too big, you can cut that in half, or you can cut a small squeegee in half to make smaller squeegees, if that makes sense. I do that a lot. Okay, so now I'm going to get what's called my detail tool. Well, maybe I can't find my detail tool. Let's see, not here. It's got to be in here. Detail tool. Well, I don't see it in here. I was going to use it to do the small area. Where could it have gone? I've got all these zip ties today. Oh, here it is. This is called my detail tool. It has a pointed end for lifting things. It's also good for scraping off mistakes. And then it has this little tiny end right here. So I'm going to use that for the red berries. Just get a little bit of paste and put my berries in. Cover them up. And remember, my paste is drying in the screen, and I don't want it to dry in the screen because it won't stay down on the surface. So I want to get this pulled up quickly. I do see a little bit I missed right here. A little bit right there. And a little bit right here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and peel this up, guys. Okay, I need a little bit of a redo right up here at the top. I kind of placed this up a little bit too high on the board here, but it's not going to matter because we've got the border. Oh, you guys, I don't know. I like that green. Oops. So as you peel it up, kind of assess. I do see it, a piece right up here that I missed. Okay, so I will dry this a little bit. Oh, these florals came out great. I like the green. Can you guys even see this? Oh yeah, let's see. There we go. So the purpose of peeling this up is just so it doesn't dry in the screen, so you have a good crisp line, so it doesn't stay with the transfer on the top. It will stay down below. So guys, look at this. I thought that this green on the Made with Love, even though we're going to cover it up, would be a mistake, but I really like it. Do you like it? Give me a thumbs up if you love it. Would have been pretty in the peach as well. Okay. And one thing I don't remember to do is when you lay that transfer down, try not to let it sit on your transfer because it's going to transfer color. Okay, so I'm I'm gonna lay this down so I can get this other floral on this side done. And this swirl, maybe I'll do this swirl first. I'm gonna do the swirl in the Shimmer Melon. Shimmer Melon. And this I can go pretty fast on because I don't have to add a different color in it. And it's not really close to any of the other elements of this design. So this is just gonna take me just a little bit of time. Probably part of the quickest part of this design, with the exception of the word gingerbread. Have you guys ever used a peach color in your Christmas decor? I have not. I've used blues. I'm pretty traditional. I like the reds and the greens. I have done trees that have the metallics. I love the bronzies and the creams. I think that's really pretty. And I've also done some jewel tones. I think those are beautiful. But my main tree, and I usually have one, but like I said, I've done extras, is always red and green. What color are your trees? What do you like to decorate for? What color scheme? Are you mainly a traditional Christmas colors, or I've seen some pretty blue ones, but I'm mainly traditional, but I do love some of the other ones. Some years I just can't decide. Let's pull this up a little bit. Okay, I do have a little bit missed right here. Need a retouch, and that's why you go slow and you assess. So let's hit our florals up on the left side. So put this down gently. Smooth down those areas where you are going to chalk. Okay, let's get our green going. And if you need to add some more paste, go ahead and squeeze some out. And you can also just squeeze it directly onto your squeegee if you want to. Sometimes it's easier. Just bypass that palette tray a little bit. But you do whatever works best for you. Okay, I think I've got all my green parts done. And now I'm going to go ahead and use my detail tool again for the red berries. Whoops. It's a lot of red right there. A lot of paste, and I probably just moved it into my florals, but let's see. Oh, it looks okay. Peel it off and let's do it. How's it looking so far, guys? What do you think? I'm thinking maybe I should have had some red berries right there. 2 of those spots should have been red berries. So I'm going to go back and add those in. Yeah, right there. And I did add red, but it just didn't go through very well. Okay. Those up. Oops, one of them didn't go through again. That's a berry. That's a berry. Okay. Now the gingerbread, the word gingerbread, I think is going to be in, oh gosh. Let's do it in the camel. Let's just do that in camel. So, just quick and easy here. Do you guys make it a habit to have gingerbread at Christmas? Do you actually bake gingerbread? Or do you do a pre-made house? Do you buy gingerbread cookies? Do you eat gingerbread cookies at all? I love gingerbread cookies with hot tea or coffee. I like to let them melt a little bit because they are a pretty, they're not a delicate cookie. They're a pretty healthy cookie. Not healthy and good for you, but tasty, that's for sure. Tasty cookie. But I mean, they're kind of a thicker, crisper, harder cookie. And so if you soak them in something warm, like tea or coffee, they kind of soften a little bit. And then I like to catch them before they break it off and make a mess. But eat them real quick. Let's do this. So guys, this is, I think the transfer for this alone is more than the whole kit, or pretty close to the cost of the kit. So this is an excellent, excellent purchase. It's a great group project if you have your sisters over and you want to get together, friends over, and you all want to craft together. You don't have to use these colors that came with it. If you have other paste colors, you can use those, or you can buy other individual paste packets. Now they sell them in the bigger, they give you a discount for buying multiples. I think it's by 6. That's a good way to do this. Let's see how this gingerbread looks. But it is a good group project. So let's peel this down. I love it. I love it, guys. Dry it up a little bit. Release that paste from the transfer. And dry it just so that when we put this transfer back down, it's not going to disturb the work that we just did. I do see a little bit of that D is off right there. So I'm going to lay this down and just hit that D, the very edge of that D. Lift it up. Okay, that looks better. Okay, baking company, let's do that in the shimmer melon. And I always focus on the very top edge of my transfer of my word that I'm chalking and the bottom edge, because I find that I neglect those, and also the left and right edges. So I don't know whether I just get carried away and forget about them, if it's my placement, but I always end up missing them. So I do focus on them now. And go ahead and take the extra off. It helps it dry quicker. It gives it a smoother finish. It conserves your paste. Let's do fresh and daily in the green. Yeah, let's do floral in the green. Get that done. I do these berries in the red. And daily and fresh. Let's do those in the green. All right, I think we squeaked out the last little bit of that green. So we didn't have to squeeze any more out. Let's go ahead and remove the transfer. Are you guys ready? Here it goes. Here it goes. Lift it up. Assess as we go. It looks awesome. I'm gonna put that back there just till I dry it. Look at that, guys. Here's our sign, but we haven't done our embellishments. But isn't that cute? You could do this in any colors you want, but this is the color. These are the colors that the kit comes with. It looks great. Now, do you want to change off this color to the, what's it called? Shimmer Melon? Or leave it green or make it red? Let's do it red. Okay. So, I've got my transfer back here. Let's go ahead and clean it real quick. I'll show you how to clean it. And we're going to need it anyway for to do our gingerbread man and our header. So what you do is you put it sticky side down. You get a bottle of water or some form of water. You can pour a little bit of water on here. You can use, I use a board eraser, which is what really helps me clean. I love those. But I wet it pretty good, and the sooner you wet it, the easier it is going to be to clean. Now, I use paper towels for my first couple of passes of cleaning, and that's just because it's pretty, the reds are pigmented pretty thick, pretty heavily, and the blacks are pigmented pretty heavily, and so I just kind of get that first layer off. And also just kind of moving the water around a little bit. Okay. And then I get what is called a board eraser. And it is, put this behind me. I have mine soaking in water for right now. And I also use it as my water bath is kind of like where I soak my dirty squeegees. But I squeeze it out, squeeze the water out, and it's basically just like a magic eraser sponge, except that it doesn't have any chemicals in it. You really want to take care of the sticky side of your transfers because the ability to stick to your surface really helps with placement, not moving around. It's one of the best attributes of these transfers is the sticky. So if they weren't sticky, you would have to find a way to kind of hold them to get to stick to the surface. So these board erasers are wonderful. So on the front side, get as much paste out as you can. And then we're going to flip it over and we're going to do the back side. Now notice that my work surface has lots of imprints of that existing paste that came through. I'm going to clean that up because I'm going to flip this over to work on the back side. Just I always feel like when you're cleaning, clean all around. Okay, now this is going to be sticky side up. I'm going to do the same thing and just kind of spray it down. And the back side's not as dirty, but it does have that adhesive on it. So you don't want to scrub at it really hard. Just lightly wipe it. And your mission is to get all of that paste that you put on out of the silk screen. If the paste doesn't get out of the silk screen, you won't be able to use it over and over again because the imprint, the area where the paste comes through, will be blocked, and it won't allow that paste to go through to the surface. So just kind of rub it lightly. And like I said, the back side is not as dirty as the front side. Where did my paper towels go? Right here. So now we're going to lay it sticky side down. Well, we could wipe it. So when it's wet, it's not sticky. But as it begins to dry, that sticky comes back, allowing you to reuse it over and over again. Okay. Okay. So this is pretty good. And your shimmers are always harder to clean too, guys. They're always harder to clean than the regular paste. And then I want to go over this one more time with my board eraser. And you may want to go in circles. You may want to go up and down. You may want to go back and forth, just to get any areas where that paste could be hiding in the silkscreen. And your paste can stain the teal part of your transfer. If it stains it, that's okay. You're just trying to focus on getting all that paste out of the silkscreen. Now I am going to use this right away, so I want to make sure it's completely dry. Do you see how you can see through the silkscreen again? So that means it's good to go. And let me just make sure the back is dry. Oops. Because if it's wet, it's going to smear. And you're not going to get a good imprint. Okay, so what are we going to do? We need to do our gingerbread man. Let's get him down. And I think he came out pretty good. I'm going to do a better job on his scarf though. Sometimes it may work better just to flip it over. And line him up. Then check him, and that's way off. Okay. Okay, that looks good. And then we're also going to do this banner sign. So I think I'm going to start with his scarf. This paste has dried a little bit in here. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to use my little detail tool. To get his scarf. Okay, and then I am going to do the rest of him just in the camel color. So here's a camel. I'm gonna butt right up to that scarf. And try not to get it in the red. So there's a lot of there's an air bubble right there. You don't want air bubbles because it'll cause the paste to run or bleed underneath it. There's nothing to contain that paste from spreading if there's an air bubble. Trying to get right up to the scarf. Without going over it. Like I said, if you have extra paste in one area, move it to an area that doesn't have any paste. You can always add more paste, but you might as well be efficient with it. Make sure I get all my edges because I know that that's my area that I neglect. Okay, so let's go ahead and peel this back gently. It looks good. It's got some areas where it bled a little bit. It went outside the outline, right at the top and on the side, but I can clean that up after it dries very easily. But he's cute, isn't he? Very cute. So I could try to wipe this off right now, but it's disturbing the area that I already chalked. So I'm gonna let it dry. And then we want to do our little border. Let's see, I think I did like the green. Make sure we got it right. Sometimes if you have a light box, it may help with placement. Okay, that looks really good. Okay, make sure there's not any air bubbles, guys. Make it sure it's nice and crisp, and we're gonna do that with the green. Okay, and we're just gonna go over it. I'm kind of being stingy with the paste because I don't want to pour out more than I can put back in or use at one time because you can't put it back in. So I'm just squeezing a little bit at a time. Scrape off the excess. Make it an even layer and make sure it's not too thick. So that, see this on here, I'm gonna end up wasting that because I can't get it back in the package. Okay, let's take it off and take a look. Oh, I love it, guys, look at it. So you can glue these on, or you can use magnets. With my paste packs, I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of run the leftover paste down towards the bottom, and I'm going to roll up that end. I could clean it up a little bit. Let me see. Clean it up a little bit if you want. Okay, so I did that. And this is the cut end. I'm just going to fold it over a couple times. And I'm going to seal it down so it's pretty much airtight. And then I'll put this in a plastic bag and I'll seal it. So that's how I seal my store my leftover paste. And I can still see my colors. So that's why I cut off the bottom corner. Push this down. Clean a little bit. Fold it down and tape it. Okay. Now my dirty squeegees, I'm all done pasting. I put in my water bath. My color trays I reuse. You don't have to, but I reuse. Put them in my water bath and I will wash them up. I might as well clean all this mess. I don't know. So hang tight with me. All we have to do is finish cleaning this and put it together. Okay. And try my gun, my glue gun. Okay, so tape goes away. Let's clean this counter and the transfer real quick. And guys, this paste is non-toxic. It is water soluble. It is great for kids to use. It may get a little messy because I'm a little messy, but it does clean up pretty easily and you don't have to worry about your kids using it. My grandkids have so much fun doing these projects. They really, really, really get into them. So now what you can do with your transfers too is take them back to the sink, run them under some cold water while you're using the board eraser, and they will come clean. And I will probably do this one because I want to go ahead and get to the gluing and get it all put together for you. So let me just put this here for now and clean this up. Okay. And get a water wipe for my hands so I don't stain all my good hard work I just did. Okay, so here we have our gingerbread sign. What do you think? I absolutely love it. But like I said, there's so many different color options that you could use with this. But this is in the kit. It gives you everything you need. And I love it. Okay, so I'm going to dry this real quick. I'm going to show you how I'm going to repair it. And I may want to re-chalk it where I just smeared it when it was wet. Okay, and I don't know, let's see. I think I'm going to glue this because I really like it to be three-dimensional. So I'm just going to add a few drops of glue on here. If my glue gun is hot. It's not real hot. So I'm just going to glue it right over the top. And remember that I didn't quite have this up all the way, the transfer. That's going to be solved with this because I'm going to overlay it. So see from the back how it now rises up above the back of the board? And that's what it looks like. Now, as far as this overbleed here, I can just scrape off this part. I can also get a paper towel. I can get any little tool. This comes with your artist toolkit, and it can rub off stuff. You can use it to remove, you can wet it. And this stuff, since it is a rechalkable chip, this looks better already, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and clean up this part right here where I touched it when it was wet. But when I clean it up, I will glue it on right on top of the gingerbread down below, and this will be our finished product. What do you guys think? I'm gonna take this off just so I can show you. Whoa! Well, maybe I'll take both pieces off. That glue wasn't hot. So here it is, guys. I hope you love it. I love it. Get this kit. It's so reasonably priced. It's fun. It would be a great get-together craft night. Hang it in your kitchen. Put it on your kitchen counter. It's adorable. Pick your own colors if you want. I love it. I hope you love it too. Give it a heart. Share with your friends. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.